Hello? Okay, there we go. Welcome to EST Afternoons. That was a rough start. Maddie came in here, and everybody got a little frazzled, and welcome.
I was cool as a cucumber, all right? I realized what was going on.
Yeah, I did a whole intro already. I didn't know our mics weren't on. Are they on now? Are we sure? Okay.
It doesn't come through for some reason.
All right. Well, let's do it all over again. Rewind. Welcome to EST Afternoons on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. It's game day for the Edmonton Oilers as they host the Nashville Predators. 7 p.m. down at Rogers Place. Connor McDavid going for 1,000. The team is going 11-7 as Victor Arvidsson is out day to day. So we'll break it all down. It's Joaquin Gage, it's Hernan Salas, and it's our wonderful producer, Zachticum. Just to take you inside, Maddie came in here when we were just about to, we just went live and threw all of us off a bit here because he was asking a question.
Oh, he's asking about F1 because I had it on the brilliant performance of Max Verstappen.
Oh, okay.
And he's going, why is that on? But we weren't on.
And he couldn't wait till the break. Oh, that Maddie, I tell you. You can listen to us live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in radio, iHeartRadio, or watch us on the EST YouTube channel. We hit 100 thumbs up. Let's do it again. Let's do it for Dusty. Dusty Strong, hashtag. We need to,
Dusty Strong.
Yeah, that's the new hashtag.
Is it?
Yeah, of course. And we're live from the William Huff Studios. Zach, if you can change just the TV behind us when you get an opportunity, please. And text us 780-218-9999 or hit us up on the nasty chat. Everybody's saying working now, and that's a good thing.
Thanks, Jen.
Yes. Today's show, fun one. We're going to talk a lot of the Edmonton Oilers, of course, as they host the Preds. 120 Red Light District. It's going to be a fun one with Joaquin. It's really going to be fun, and we're going to need you to participate. At 1:40, David Harrison, host on Locked On Commanders and beat reporter for Commanders Gameday on Sports Illustrated. He's live from Philadelphia. That'll be a cool conversation to talk about these really fun and exciting Washington Commanders as they take on the Eagles in the 2 o'clock hour. Is wide open. Whatever you want to talk. Tyson, Paul, Oilers, Preds.
Lots of discussion around here about that.
Yeah, some interesting news regarding the BC Lions. The Elks are getting tied into it as well. Some big moves coming there. We'll break it all down, and we'll just have some fun. I think the Red Light District topic is going to really, really resonate with our listeners. They're going to have some fun with this. Hashtag Dusty Strong. Hopefully the big guy's feeling better. Just to take you inside, like in this job, it's a great job that we do, Gager. But booking guests, like you have really good weeks and you have really bad weeks sometimes. This week's been a grind. Like no one is responding. Zach and I all week have been trying to get someone on to talk Tyson and Paul. We've probably sent out close to 20 requests and maybe 2 have responded. And they're like, no, I can't. I'm too busy. And it's a grind. You know that YouTube Trev even turned us down today?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
He big timed us.
I think it's because he has something against you, Gager. He turned you down over the weekend.
Every time I ask him, I've tried to call him. It's just he doesn't answer. Maybe it is because of me.
He big timed us.
He did.
He big timed you on the weekend. He big timed me
Huge
today.
big time.
That's not good. Rob from the Grove. Hello, Gager. Hello, Hernan. Hello, Afternoon Nasties. Penner's Pancakes. Feeling better? He's been calling CFL games every weekend.
Yeah.
Well,
he's hooked up to an IV when he's doing it, I guess.
Yeah, and he's been straight to his room and then straight to the airport. Like
really?
The big guy's been the big guy. This thing took him down.
That's actually AI Dusty that's doing the games.
You know what's funny? Because the morning guys, Will and Lieutenant Eric, were like, since he's been sick, what has happened in the sports world? He missed all the CFL playoffs.
Yeah.
Connor got hurt and came back. They had a bunch of other ones, which was great. So he's missed a long time, man.
But we had that thing. We had the who's going to be back first, Connor or Dusty? And then I said, have you ever seen Dusty and Connor in the same room? You know, is Dustin Nielsen going for 1,000 points today?
Oh, man, that'd be amazing. So before we get to the NHL talk, I just want to throw this out there for all our wonderful Elks fans. This is very interesting. Check this out. So BC Lions analyst Julio Caravata said, expect big changes with the Lions early next week. Ryan Rigmaiden should end up as the new GM. Major moves coming with the coaching staff and the structure of the team. Rick Dhaliwal adds, who does the show with Don Taylor and is usually right on when he tweets stuff. Lots of Rick Campbell to Edmonton rumors.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting, eh?
Yeah, really interesting. Well, I think compared to here in Edmonton, the Lions have to look at this season as a failure, right? From the way they started,
hosting the Grey Cup.
I think they were going, oh my gosh, we're going to be playing in Vancouver for the Grey Cup. And it was hard not to argue with them until Vern Adams gets hurt, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
And kind of things fell off the rails from there. I mean, they still got close, but not. They just weren't. They weren't the same team.
I feel like this is Any Given Sunday when Al Pacino at the end of the movie leaves and takes Steaming Willie Beeman.
Yeah.
Imagine Rick Campbell VA combo.
That would be great.
How great! But I mean, I'm still a Trey guy, but I get it. The excitement of that would be pretty cool because I think Rick Campbell's a hell of a coach. Has ties to Edmonton, obviously, with his father. He's done it all, Gager. Would you be okay with him being the head coach? Because I don't think it's for GM. I think it's for head coach.
You think so?
Yeah. Which is interesting because they don't have a GM yet.
I think the GM has to come in first, don't you?
Yes, 100%.
And I don't want to see dual duties.
No. That was a bad experiment.
That doesn't work, I don't think.
Look at Calgary. Look what happened with Chris Jones.
No. Let's learn from past mistakes, people.
Well, let the rumors begin because you're not allowed to make news, like official news, during the Grey Cup week. But, buddy, I'm telling you, as soon as that game's over on Sunday, it's going to pick up. We might be live from Commonwealth next week.
Yeah, I think you threw that out there in the bullpen. Yeah.
That'll be cool.
That'd be great.
That would be good. I'm just trying to, I saw one here. Kelvin Van Dasselaar says, line situation is interesting. All right. It is. And I think you nailed it, Gager. You said it was a disappointment for them because it was.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? When did VA go down? Like game 8? Was it around that time?
Yeah.
Was it that yeah, and they were rolling.
Jasmine says, you didn't ask me, cowards, about the fight.
About what? What's Jasmine talking about?
I think about the fight.
Oh, Jasmine, she...
Oh, to be a guest. Yeah. To talk about the fight. Yeah, that's what... Okay.
Well...
It's all coming together.
We'll see what you're doing tomorrow. Relax.
And then Big Maple...
But Jasmine thinks it's a real fight. And she was visibly upset leaving here today after the hangout because... She's all pumped. Sounds like you know what, Jasmine? Sounds like you have this big, huge thing planned for tomorrow night. I didn't get an invite to that.
Big Mabel's fired up. He's like, I could resist the urge to tell Maddie off for a legitimate discussion on the match tomorrow because Maddie is not high on it. He thinks it's kind of rigged. I do too. I'm kind of 50-50, especially if it goes the distance and Jake Paul wins. And all this talk about legacy. This is not a legacy fight for Mike Tyson.
No.
I'm sorry. It's not.
No.
This is just a payday.
Here we go.
It'll still look bad if you lose to Jake Paul, even if you're 58 years old, even if you're almost he is a senior citizen almost. It's going to look bad no matter what. He's a YouTuber. Yes, I know. It's going to be a payday, but it is an actual sanctioned fight. They changed the rules. They adjusted them to help Mike out a little bit more. They made it shorter. They gave him heavier gloves. It's going to count against his record. He's 50-6 right now. He could be 50-7 with the loss against Jake Paul. It's bad. It's going to be a bad look either way. And you guys have preached that it might be a rigged fight. Yeah, if Jake Paul wins, it's going to look rigged. But if Mike Paul wins, nobody's going to care. Either way,
Mike Tyson.
Did I say Mike Paul?
yeah, that's their kid.
Because you guys think Mike Tyson is going to be Jake Paul's daddy.
Good one. That was good.
This is where I'm at with this fight. I'm seeing a lot of boxing experts on X saying, I don't like his balance. He's 58. You can't just come and fight a guy that's been training for as long as Jake. Well, not as long, but Jake Paul's been training for years now.
Yeah.
So for me, it's if Mike Tyson wins, it's it's Mike Tyson. If Jake Paul wins, well, it's rigged. If it's a draw, it's rigged. I don't think it's a win. I just want to watch this chaos, Gager. I am so excited. Hernan's going to pick up some food, probably some red wine. There's nothing like red wine in boxing, eh?
My God. Jesus. What a psychopath. That's so weird. I don't know. the thing is, it's at least it's talked about. You know, this is unbelievable that we're talking about this fight, and like I want to see the numbers tomorrow.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
I think this is going to Netflix is probably well, how do they make money on this though? There'll be ads
for sure.
I'm assuming is
Netflix making a killing off.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, how many people are going to their buddies? Because back in the day, like, and I was talking about this, the Mike Tyson Peter McNeely fight.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy we went to the cable shop in Vancouver and picked up the digital recorder that we had to hook in to watch the fight, and it was like $100 or something for this thing, and we had to return it. There was a damage deposit. I don't think we even had the cash for it. I don't know how. We must have sold some bottles or something, and then we had to return it to get our money back, and it was over in 10 seconds. So, it's tons of people going to people's places. I'm sure a lot of establishments will have it on. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I know it's okay. This might be the biggest fight of the decade so far. Like most popular, popularity-wise, right? You think you what, Maddie?
it.
No. Fight of the
Here
decade.
comes
Most
Maddie.
popular
Here comes
Maddie.
fight of the decade. So, non-boxing fans are into that. We're talking about this right now. We didn't talk about Usyk.
Oh,
But
boy.
everybody is talking about this Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. This is popular. It's like Drake. He's quote unquote the best artist, or Taylor Swift. Okay, you're not on the show. Simmer down. My time to talk.
UFC guy. Like, there's more people watching this than UFC fights.
Yes, I know. No,
Which what does it tell you about UFC?
tells you they don't have a Jake Paul.
Well,
That's
Well,
the thing.
Conor
It's all
McGregor's
business.
kind of their Jake Paul. I
What,
guess.
Yeah, but
what
he's
does
in
it?
some
What does
heat
it
right
tell
now.
you about this fight that we're talking about as much as we are, guys?
I can't believe it.
Like Big Maple's fired up. He says rigged, hilarious.
That's the first time Maddie's run out of his office.
Oh,
yelling.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
because hey, I love you, Zach. You're my guy, but it's not the fight of the decade.
No.
It's the most popular fight so far of the decade. There's no other fight that's happened in the 20s so far that has had this much traction than this one.
no. When Canelo fought, I would say when Canelo fought Triple G. I don't know when that was, but
That was a good fight.
The first one was. The last one sucked.
How about that Ryan Garcia when he got KO'd with a rib shot?
Gervonta Davis.
Yes.
Those were Gervonta Davis fights that was probably the big one. Canelo's last two fights, they were ridiculous. But
Big Maple says, kick Maddie out of the studio. Doug Dad says, if Matt wants to say something, grab a mic and get in the ring. Tom Gazzola, the wrench, says, oh my God, Zach.
It's true. I mean, I don't know how many people are genuinely going to the fight and spending money to get an actual ticket down in Arlington, but you got like 12-year-olds talking about this. You got TikTok people. Like, everybody is talking about this. This is the only thing that I've seen all week is Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. It's been around the office here. I'm sure everywhere else in the world, people are talking about this thing. It's bigger than the biggest UFC fight of the year, which is crazy. And I know boxing is a huge, huge thing, but just the fact that it's Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, everybody wants to have a word about this thing. So that's the reason I say it's the biggest, most popular fight. I wonder what the numbers are. Like, Gager, when you bring that up, I wonder what the numbers are going to be.
Because it's not a comparison. Well, because Conor McGregor Mayweather was a
that was huge.
Was a crap show too. Like, let's be honest.
That was a good fight. I say no. That was actually a really good fight because Conor was ahead after like 4 or 5 rounds.
But I feel like Mayweather was just toying with him.
He was
a little bit, yeah.
but there was Mayweather made sure of it because he had the catch weight, right? So Conor had to come in underweight, and he knew he would be able to outlast him. But for what Conor McGregor fought Mayweather better in that fight than I would say Mayweather's previous like 3 or 4.
Sure. I mean, Big Mabel's losing it. He says, y'all going to make me go full Joel. We love you, Big Mabel. We love your passion for the sport. He says, until Crawford and Canelo fight, this will be the biggest spectacle in sports.
Again, that fight is too late too, but that'll have a lot of eyes on it.
remember Pearls versus Joe? Enough said. This is the fight of the millennium for the Intergalactic Championship belt. Yo, that's from VR Montana. Listen, guys. I'm not gonna dog on it because I'm gonna watch it. I'm actually excited for this, but it's not the fight of the decade, like our guy Zach said.
I might bring a box of wine to your place. And
But what is a bigger fight right now, though?
It's John Jones versus.
Not even close.
Yeah,
not many people are talking about. We haven't even talked about.
Okay, but it's big because of Mike Tyson, right?
Right.
Jake Paul.
Oh,
You know. Yeah. Any time this Jake Paul guy fights, everybody's talking. He's a businessman. It's a business.
Okay, I got one for you. Pabs Gabriel says, "Are you high?" McGregor Habib was easily bigger.
That wasn't this decade though.
How long ago was that?
2018.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I mean in the 20s right now.
Hambone says Jones. What is it? Miocic is bigger, hence why it's got the good Saturday time. You know what, Hambone? Let's see the numbers at the end of this and see what was actually bigger. Because although I know of the Jones fight, it's kind of past its expiration date too, has it not?
Well, they were supposed to fight like a year and a half ago. Then Jones tore his pectoral muscle, was out 6 to 12 months or whatever it was. They were supposed to fight before. It didn't happen. It's still a huge fight. It's the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history, without a doubt. Greatest heavyweight versus greatest fighter, arguably of all time. For UFC, but yeah.
Penner's Pancake says it the best. This fight will draw many non-casual fans.
Yeah, that's what you want.
That's what it's doing.
Yeah.
That's what it's doing. And then Matt Garrison, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right, we got to get to break here. It's 1:20. We're at 31 thumbs up. You know what's crazy, guys? It's Oilers game day. We didn't even talk about the Oilers. We're talking about Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, according to Zach. And Matthew on. No, not Matthew on. The biggest fight of the decade is on tap tomorrow. It all gets going at 6. We'll talk more about this because I have a few questions for Zach. I want to know who's on the card, if there's actual real boxing going to happen, and all that. And we'll talk some UFC as well. Like we said, we're trying to get a guest even tomorrow to talk UFC 309 if we can end this fight, but we'll do our best. David Harrison from the host on Locked On Commanders will join us at 1:40. But coming up next, it is the Red Light District with Joaquin Gage. It's going to be a fun topic. We want you all to chime in. And, of course, the EST Flyaway to LA is coming up in the second hour. That's wide open. So text us 780-218-9999 or hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Up next, Red Light District here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas. But first up, Zachticum with a sports update.
Connor McDavid has a chance to become the 4th fastest player in NHL history to record 1,000 points as he enters tonight's game against the Preds, just 1 point away from the milestone. And you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas to get you set for the action on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6 o'clock right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Other games see the Senators and Flyers go at it. The Jets take on the Lightning and the Bruins facing the Stars for 10 games around the NHL. Thursday night football action sees the Eagles kick off with the Commanders, where you can join Lieutenant Eric at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for 6:15 kickoff. It's the Mavericks out in Utah tipping off with the Jazz for the lone game in the association. This sports update was brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation, where you have the chance to win big with the Split the Pot lottery. The pot grows with every ticket sold, with the jackpot getting bigger and bigger each day. Visit splitthepot.ca to buy your tickets now. Don't forget to pick Capital Care Foundation as your foundation of choice. After a quick timeout, we come back with the Red Light District with Joaquin Gage. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for 2, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. the EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the night.
Joaquin.
You don't have to wear that dress tonight. Walk the streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong or if it's right.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin.
You don't have to put on the red light.
Joaquin. 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 It's 126 EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, Zachticum here. Matty Iwanek on the nasty chat. There is a major difference in the biggest spectacle versus the biggest fight. Oh, boy. And then Duck Dad says, Ice Cube smash that, Reed. Like Tyson is going to smash Paul's face. No, is it Paul? Yeah, Jake Paul.
Mike Paul.
Mike Paul. Quickly, portions of this hour are brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. NHL lives at the Canadian Brew House with Thursday Night Football and your chance to win a trip to NFL home opener of your choice. $1 off tankers of Bud Light and Budweiser. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. And we also got some news on the good old lager. Starting today, 6 o'clock lager is dropping to $12.99 through Christmas. So make sure to pick
This
it up.
stuff?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! You know what you probably need for this fight tomorrow is a bunch of 6 o'clocker lagers.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Well, the red light district's going in a different direction, like Hernan said today. We're going down to Arlington. Mike Tyson, how you doing? No, I'm kidding. No, you might have noticed that one of the members of EST has been absent. I don't know over the last few weeks. Our fearless leader, the guy who wears the C around here, Dustin Nielsen, has been out and sick and battling through. And although we've gotten to see him a little bit on broadcasts, which is great, he just hasn't felt well. So what we wanted to do, what we were talking about, is making sure that something like this just never happens again. And to guard against that, we are going to start, we need a list of things that can help Dusty remain healthy and viable so we don't have multiple weeks without one of the greats, Dustin Nielsen. So Hernan and I were talking. I think the first one we talked about was just, was the diet.
Yes.
Is how we were going first.
Yeah.
And the introduction, and I'm not saying he doesn't have to turn into a rabbit, but a vegetable. and
Yeah.
what vegetables are easiest to implement into Dusty's diet.
He's got to eat more salads. And
Yeah.
Find a dressing that he likes. Find
Does
a
he-
yeah.
Yeah,
or
okay.
or cut up some cucumbers, carrots, have them with ranch, have them with whatever. But he needs vegetables at least 3 times a week,
3 times a week.
like as a side dish for supper. I'm going to go with he's got to have 1 fruit a day, whether it's a banana, an orange, an apple. Those are the top 2 for me. It's his diet. So we need the vegetable intake, and it can't just be on a burger because that's not. You're not eating healthy. You're eating a burger with some lettuce on it. So he's gonna. The first 2 are vegetables in his life, at least 3
Okay.
times a week, at least 1 fruit a day. Zach, what do you got?
That's a pretty good one. Drink more water. If you think you're hungry, just drink water. Have a water test. 500 milliliters of water. Wait 20 minutes if you're still hungry. Grab something to eat. But if you're not hungry, you just need water.
I like that. You see him crush some water at times in the morning and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he goes like there's a water bottle over there that I think is Dusty's, and
It
it's
is.
still full.
And it's contaminated.
Yeah, no.
No one's touching
no
that
one's
one.
touching that.
There might
thing.
be growing vegetables in there right now.
I'm gonna recommend coconut water.
I know you and your coconut water.
It's really good for you. Keeps you hydrated. It's just great. I think the other one we have to talk about is exercise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
okay.
were going, and I think Dusty has a Peloton, but we're not talking. He doesn't have to be Lance Armstrong here. I mean, maybe even just started out with the walk.
Yeah.
You know, just an hour a day.
Yeah.
Just go for a cruise.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be very strenuous, but just get the big rig moving, pump up the heart rate, maybe get it, 120, between 115, 130, I think he could do on a brisk
So
walk.
He should walk 3 times a week.
Yeah.
For an hour
At least.
at least. Get
At
your
least.
steps in. I think that'd do wonders for him, for his sleep too.
Well, that was the other place I was going to. I mean, it was famous what he was spewing about before he got sick, but the sleep is key. You can't, like yesterday. I had a massive headache yesterday.
Yeah.
I went to bed really early and just slept right the way
Yeah.
through, and I feel so much better today. But we know he's a busy guy, but you can't be rolling on 4 hours sleep and then jumping on planes and going across the country to do things. He needs at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep a night, at least. Like
Yeah.
if you can, throw in more.
Yeah, and what was I going to say? Yeah, Tammy should cut off all his social media at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you can do that on the on the apps too. So
Yeah.
he just treat him like he's a 14-year-old and limit his access to social media. That'll
Yeah.
help.
Okay, so sleep, off social media earlier than usual. Okay, what else can we add to Dusty's new, what are we going to call it? His new,
This is
I like the term that Trev brought up, Dusty's detox.
Dusty's detox.
Maybe,
Double
maybe.
D. I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah. Yeah. What do you say? 780-218-9999 or in the nasty chat. What would help Dusty remain a pinnacle of health so he doesn't miss any more time at work, except for designated vacation days?
Chauncey says, get sugar out of your life.
That's a big one.
That is a huge one, man.
Dusty's regimen. That's
Dusty's
what
regiment.
Mandatory daily vegetables. Get a store to sponsor him. Trying something new each day. I like that one.
Okay.
Jasmine says whiskey.
Jasmine.
Box Pounder says wine equals grape juice. Hey, that was one of mine. 1 glass of wine every second day is good for your heart.
It's good for your heart, but yeah.
just
it's-
a glass though.
You
not a
drink like
bottle.
you got 8 hearts. Tom Gazzola's in. Let's see if anyone can get this mystery person that he's talking about. I know a guy who only drinks energy drinks. He's the epitome of health. I think Gager sat beside him during the intermission on the broadcast the other night. It's not Gene.
Does his name rhyme with? No, it's just no. But for because we have a lot of healthy people that listen to us and watch us, of course. Like, what's the best vegetable Dusty can eat, or the best fruit that will keep him going and not get him sick for 3 weeks?
Yeah, like, and an introduction to things too, right?
Another one I have, switch from your regular oil for cooking and go to avocado oil, which is probably the healthiest. And then
It's never super healthy, but yeah, like it's good. It's got a high heating temperature too.
there's healthier salts out there.
Salt's tough.
Yeah.
That's
But I mean, it's never healthy.
no.
But there's healthier.
Yeah.
That's definitely one.
How about vitamins? Get your vitamins.
A good multivitamin
Yeah.
would help, you know. Some of those replacement things too. Like, I mean, a multi pretty much has everything into it, but obviously Dusty's had some, probably some blood work done.
Yeah.
And he can see where he's deficient. Maybe there's some iron pills or you know what can really help, and this takes over a period of time, but if you do a little bit of echinacea pills, they help boost the immune system, especially when he gets into, you know, when the rubber really hits the road during CFL season, where he's on the road in those, you know, those iron lungs on planes and all those germs are circling around. You got to get the immune system bumped up at that point. So echinacea can do that. Even a little bit of turmeric too helps as well.
Yeah, the oregano pills that Lieutenant Eric was taking.
Yeah.
Those will help too. I just thought of one. What was it going to be for the big guy?
And you got to implement a cheat day too, right? It can't all be
Weekends.
just
Weekends are his cheat day because he's
Yeah.
with the kids
With
and
the-
the wife, and we're not saying he can never eat a burger again, but you know, you need to more yogurt in the morning with some granola and maybe some berries.
Right? That's
Yeah.
good, man.
I'm going to recommend this, and I haven't done it in years, but I've done it in the past, and it helps me sleep. It's the best thing for your body, yoga.
I know. Yeah, I used to do tons of yoga, which I should keep doing, but that just helps tremendously because you can do certain things that can be like cleansers, like liver cleansers, different positions you can be in.
I like this. Justin of Bulgari. Maybe Dusty could replace his Flintstone chewable vitamins for an adult. And Waddy and Cloverdale sent us a picture of Dusty and Ferris Bueller when he's just laying, I can't remember where he's laying down, but with Dusty's face on him is Dustin Nielsen's month off. Paul from The Rock says, how about he does a boot camp? Well, we don't want to knock him out again, right?
Yeah, no. That's baby steps here. Baby steps here. I don't know about hot yoga yet. We want to ease into it.
Ease him into it, yeah. I've never done hot yoga, but I can only imagine.
No, I did it once, and I sweat like I'm a river, and it was so, like, it's supposed to be relaxing.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before, but as I was doing it, I was just leaking, and my river of sweat was going right towards a girl that was sitting in front of me, like, and I was going so slow, and I'm like, no, and then I threw the towel down to stop it, but it was terrible.
Yeah, so send us in. Keep sending us in. What would you like to see in Dusty's new regiment as he turns into a healthy lifestyle following his 3-week absence due to an illness?
He's going to fight Tyson next after this.
We should set him up for some sort of just training. You know what he needs to do also? Hang out with Crush. The Crusher.
The Crusher,
Yeah.
He's got...
The Crusher can knock some sense into the big guy.
yeah.
But we're doing this because we love Dusty. We miss him. And
It's just not the same around here.
Yeah, we need him back. So keep those coming in. That was the Red Light District brought to you by...
Some sort of health product or health food place if you want to this week.
Yeah, for the good old, for the big guy. All right, coming up next, we'll be joined by David Harrison. He's a host on Locked On Commanders and a beat reporter for Commanders Game Day on SI, as we'll tee up a very fun Thursday nighter between the Eagles and the Commanders, a division game here. Both teams at 7 wins and 2 exciting quarterbacks going toe-to-toe. We'll preview that game next here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, but here is Zachticum with a sports update.
The Oilers host the Nashville Predators with McDavid just 1 point away from becoming the fourth fastest player in NHL history to reach 1,000 points. Tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tommy Zola and Hernan Salas just an hour before puck drop, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Elsewhere, it's the Devils and Panthers, Canucks battling the Islanders and the Canadiens, meeting with the Wild with 10 games around the NHL. Thursday Night Football has the Commanders kicking off with the Eagles for 6:15 start with Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for the action. And the lone NBA game tonight has Utah hosting the Dallas Mavericks with the Raptors back in action tomorrow against the Pistons. On the other side of the break, David Harrison joins the EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubusch for your sports update.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Book your holiday party at the CBH today. The Canadian Brewhouse is your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now in-store or at the Canadian...
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk. Park Mazda, your dealer for life insurance.
It's 1:40. Welcome back to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Conversations going great on both the inbox at 780-218-9999 and on the Nasty Chat. More Tyson Paul reaction really took off in the first segment. And, of course, in the second hour, we're wide open. We'll continue to talk the rumors regarding the BC Lions and the Edmonton Elks, as well as previewing the Edmonton Oilers game tonight against the Nashville Predators. But right now, we're going to head to Philadelphia as we're joined by David Harrison, host on Locked On Commanders and the beat reporter for Commanders Game Day on SI, as the Commanders get set to take on the Eagles. 7-2 are the Eagles, 7-3 are the Commanders, but this should be a fun game to kick off Week 11. David, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing excellent, excellent. You're in Philadelphia right now, right?
I am. I'm actually sitting in traffic waiting to go into the stadium.
Oh, that's awesome. Great stuff. Well, let's tee up this game here. David, it's Jaden versus Jalen round one. Should be a pretty exciting quarterback matchup tonight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you got, Jalen Hurts, who obviously has been, people can debate Dak Prescott and him at the top of the NFC East, but it's been one or the other. I would say Jalen, to be quite honest with you, but that's still debatable. But that Jaden, the young rookie coming in, kind of setting the league on fire and stake his claim to be that new best quarterback in the division. And, this one season isn't going to establish that, I don't think, but getting a win against Philadelphia on the road in his first outing against them certainly helps that cause.
Both teams playing good, 7-2 and 7-3, respectable records. What are the keys to the Commanders coming in and winning a game in Philadelphia tonight?
Yeah, I think offensively they got to establish the run. Brian Robinson Jr. The last 2 weeks leading up to this game, he's supposed to be active. Today, we'll see how many reps he can get. Being active and being a major part of the game plan can be two different things. So we'll see how much they can get out of Brian Robinson. But the more they can establish that power run game, the more the defense has to respect the middle of the field, the more it keeps the linebackers kind of attached to the line of scrimmage, and it allows Jaden to do some of the things he does and finding open receivers, but also being able to get outside the pocket and use his legs as well. Defensively, Saquon Barkley is obviously a threat to take over any game, any week, but really when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they're at their best when they're getting explosive plays down the field in the passing game, and they are a team that likes to score touchdowns, and 7 drives or less, or 7 plays or less. If they can score a touchdown in 7 plays or less, they're happy. If you make them go 8, 9, 10 plays or longer, that's when they can get a little bit dicey for them. So for the Commanders' defense, you got to be able to keep them from striking fast and striking deep.
David, what's the buzz like in D.C. there with this Commanders team? I mean, the exciting young quarterback there. The record's really good. They're fighting for the division there. What's the buzz like after many subpar seasons in D.C.?
Yeah, just a lot of excitement, and a little bit of relief as well. This fan base and the region have been through a lot with this franchise and hoping for, whether it was a specific coach coming in to save the day or a specific quarterback to save the day. And then even last year, Josh Harris comes in as the managing partner of the franchise after the sale. And a lot of people were excited about, what Ron Rivera's defense might be able to do. And Howell, looked really impressive early on. And Eric Bieniemy, the cool new authoritative offensive coordinator, what he might be able to pull off in DC, and it just never came to fruition. So a lot of that excitement just turned into even more frustration, which turned into a little bit of hesitation this year to really get excited. But people are really embracing what's going on with the team now, because not only is it going well, but you can look at the way it's going well and see that there is a case for it to be sustainable.
There was I read an article about Dan Quinn and how he reinventing himself with especially with a rookie quarterback with Jaden Daniels. How has it been for him to basically put the ball in the hands of a rookie and give him the confidence to basically run with it and change how it seems like he's changed a little bit of his coaching philosophy?
Yeah, no, he's definitely involved in his coaching philosophy. That was something when he first got hired, and we talked to him earlier this calendar year. He talked specifically about learning from the lessons of his last time as the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and kind of how he's been sitting there kind of talking to himself when he has the opportunity to say, if I get the chance to do this again, here's what's going to be different. This is what I'm going to do differently this time. And he's really been able to put a lot of that into action. And when you combine that with a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, who going back to his days at LSU, going back to his days at Arizona State, even has had to earn everything that he's gotten in his football life. He's never been handed anything. And Arizona State, you started as a freshman, but there were 2 freshmen that were there. And basically, they were told one of you is going to win this job, one of you is not, and it's not a given on who's going to be that guy. So even going back to that, he knows what it means to put the work in to earn the outcome, and the poise that he has on the field under pressure, whether he's trying to be a passer or trying to be a runner and keep the play alive. Like, all of that just kind of combines that experience from Quinn's history and Jaden's just natural ability to really be calm no matter what the weight of the moment carries, has really just blended together very well.
David Harrison, host on Locked On Commanders, joining us here on EST Afternoons as the Commanders are in Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Should be a great game. David, can you talk on the relationship between Jaden Daniels and offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury here? It seems like they're just connecting, and Cliff deserves a ton of credit so far for this season, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he definitely does. And I think the biggest thing that Cliff Kingsbury deserves credit for is being, unfortunately, it's kind of rare in the league, but being an offensive coordinator that really steers into what his players do well. He's a guy that a lot of people thought would come in and just, throw the laces off the ball. And you have Jaden's got a strong arm and can certainly do that if you ask him to. But he understands that this team is best when the ground game is established first, and kind of going back to that Brian Robinson thing, like missing him, they kind of missed that dynamic, and it's led to a little bit of a less efficient offense because of it. And so you kind of see that. But when he gets Brian back on the field, that's where he leverages that. And also, you go back to week 1 with Jaden Daniels against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you very much could see that his internal process was accelerated in his first professional game. And it wasn't something that Cliff tried to grab a hold of that night and make Jaden change the moment. No, he said, look, my quarterback was basically in survival mode as a rookie quarterback getting his first start, and that's kind of how it's going to be. But we'll take that because we want him playing fast and making the best decision he can, and we'll work to get him zeroed in on exactly where we want him to be. And that's exactly what this whole process has been, is embracing who Jaden is in every moment, in every game, and then taking that opportunity to make him better the next game and so on and so forth.
Looking at the Commanders' schedule over the next 5 games, they have the Eagles, a limping Cowboys team, Titans, Saints, and then back against the Eagles. This is a team that can really put themselves in a really good position before Christmas. In your mind, I mean, it looks like these guys are a playoff team right now. Is that the sight of the Commanders right now? Is that they're looking at a playoff position?
Yeah, I mean, the Commanders themselves will tell you they're just taking one game at a time and all that, but out here, certainly. I mean, they've got 7 wins right now. Like you mentioned, Eagles, then Cowboys, then Titans before the bye. So this is a team that, if they win tonight, very feasibly could or even should have 10 wins before they enter their bye week. And then coming out of the bye week with 10 wins and a 4-game stretch ahead of you, that, certainly it should be feasible to say 2-2 at worst. In that stretch, you're talking about a potential 11, 12-win team, and that sounds like playoff football to me, and it's just building part of that excitement that we talked about earlier.
And one last one for you here, David. When can we expect the debut of Martian Lattimore if he's been ruled out for tonight? But when do you see Lattimore making his debut for the Commanders?
Yeah, that's a tricky one because hamstrings are always a little bit iffy, and Commanders fans are starting to kind of, I don't want to say grumble, but maybe a little bit of rumble, like, why did you trade for this guy if he's not going to be able to play? And I think the important thing to remember is they didn't trade for Marshawn Lattimore to beat the Steelers, to beat the Eagles. You know what I mean? They traded for Marshawn Lattimore to make them better down the stretch and make them more competitive as a playoff team. And that's, if you keep that focus on it, my own gut kind of instinct, I'm not assuming I'm going to see Marshawn until after the bye week.
Okay.
But if you see him earlier, it's even better. But he's yet to get out there and practice with the team. He's been doing stretches, working with the trainers, dealing with that hamstring injury. So I think it just seems, more likely or not that you're probably going to see him after the bye week in December.
Great stuff, David. I enjoy the game tonight. Thank you for taking the time on a busy day for you, and I'm sure we'll have you on in the near future. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thanks for the invite.
It's David Harrison, host on Locked On Commanders and a beat reporter for Commanders Game Day on SI. That's going to be a fun game. I'll probably be flipping during the intermission to see what's going on with the Jaden versus Jalen.
This is the one time where usually, I don't know, Thursday night football seems, most of the time when I start watching, it's a kind of a dud. But tonight's got a lot of, I want to have eyeballs on it a little bit more. It's the one game where, if there wasn't an Oilers game, I wouldn't be too unhappy. So I could give this my full attention. I like that the Commanders are back into it. That's a lot of years of them just being.
I love their helmets too.
I know.
And what David said, that Philadelphia is they have that big play potential. They're one of the better teams at it. So, I mean, they could use Martian Lattimore tonight, but
do you think tonight's game comes down to coaching? Because, I mean, Cipriani, right? People have said, they don't trust him when it's on the line with decision making. So, although, the Eagles are favored tonight, I think it could come down to coaching.
Yeah.
Do you think that could be
I think it comes down also to, can Jaden not keep up, but he's a rookie.
I know.
Jalen's been there, done that. David said it too, the run game. They get Robinson going. You love McLaurin there. He's great. But, it's going to be a fun game. It's always tough in Philly, too, to see how the young quarterback handles it. So I coaching for sure, but I also think how Jaden Daniels can handle that. I mean, he's already, 9 games in, or 10 games in, whatever it is. I don't think he's going to be wide-eyed about anything that's thrown his way, but it's still a tough matchup, I think. So it's going to be a fun one. If you want to hang out with Lieutenant Eric, go to the Centric Casino down on Fort Road. I think it's steak night tonight. He always gets a steak on Thursdays. So,
and this, looking at their next games, it lines up really well for them.
Does.
to be a playoff team. They should be.
Well,
right now, with their record right now, they should be a playoff team.
Because whatever happens tonight, they should win those next 3 games. Titans are not very good. Dallas is in shambles.
Saints
are in shambles.
Yeah, then they play the Eagles again.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they like in these next 4 games, they could be 4-0, but at worst 3-1.
Yeah.
Right? So it's going to be a fun one. Who do you have tonight? Do you have Jaden? Are you team Jaden or are you team Jalen? Box Pounder says, I would pay to see Dusty use a Thigh Master.
Thunder Thighs himself.
Oh, boy.
You know what I'd like to see do a Thigh Master is one Sean Bell. That thing, he could crack walnuts with those things.
Oh, yeah. Big boy, man. Yes, because in Red Light District, we're starting a new regimen for Dustin Nielsen. Whether he does it or not is totally up to him. But
I like how we're talking about all this health, and they go, yeah, let's go see Eric for the smoked brisket cheesesteaks.
And a couple of pints.
Oh, we're such hypocrites.
Oh, VR says, yeah, smoked brisket cheesesteaks. But I think Lieutenant gets the steak, though.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he likes the steak on Thursdays. So, yeah, we got to talk some Oilers, Gager. I mean, we got a full hour to do it, I guess, right? Like, I mean, only McDavid can hit 1,000 points.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the game that the Preds finally show up, though. I don't mean against just Leon and
no.
I'm saying like
turn their season around.
The team that we looked at on paper at the beginning of the season, going, oh my gosh, this has Western Conference Final implications written all over it.
Because they're pretty bad right now, Gager.
They're really bad. Well, yeah, no, they're bad.
Yeah, so I like Zach's laugh at the background there. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Lars says, yes, Cowboys are a train wreck. Thanks for the reminder.
Oh, my God. Are they?
But you know what it is with the Cowboys, Gager?
It's the sun.
You don't feel bad for them because Jerry Jones is such a, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he hasn't just release the reins and let someone else do stuff is like he keeps making the same mistakes.
And Mike McCarthy's a dead man walking.
Oh, yeah, God, he's gone.
He's enjoying the rest of the season, and then he's like, "I'll be out of a job."
Yeah,
it's what a mess there. I want is it Rush or Trey Lance next game?
Oh,
does it really matter?
Does it?
Lars, you're a Cowboys fan. Who do you want to start? But for all our Cowboys fans, is it Trey Lance time or is it Cooper Rush? Is that his name?
Yeah, I think so.
The guy that threw for 45 yards and had 2 fumbles. Holy smoke!
The memes were awful. They were just awful.
I always I don't Google, but I go on the X and I put in Cowboys and you see all their media and they're just they've had enough.
Yeah,
they're ready to be like, I'm done with this team. Like this is like, you think like Edmonton media or like NHL Canadian market media is tough? Go to Dallas.
Holy that's
smokes, bro.
That's got to be tough.
All right, in hour 2, we're going to have the EST Flyway to LA, which is presented by the 780. We'll have another qualifier for that. You'll just have to text in the keyword to 780-218-99. We'll talk a lot more Edmonton Oilers and Nashville Predators. And, of course, the fight of the decade, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. We'll continue to get your reaction here and some interesting CFL rumors hitting the good old X machine today. We'll get to all that. Oh, and our boy Nick Anderson could win Rookie of the Year tonight, Gager.
Pardon me?
Our boy Nick Anderson could be named the Rookie of the Year tonight.
Right.
So let's all. How about we hit? We're at 51 thumbs up, which is really good for the first hour. Nick Anderson is number 48. Let's hit another 48 and send them some good juju for tonight, and hopefully he is named the CFL Rookie of the Year. That's all coming up next here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, but first up, we'll get to a break, and then it's Zachticum with a sports update. This is EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
This is your chance to win big with the Split the Pot Lottery. Support the Capital Care Foundation to help Alberta seniors get the care they deserve and support more healthcare foundations across the province. With a grand prize that grows with every ticket sold, the jackpot is hundreds of thousands and just keeps getting bigger. Visit splitthepot.ca and buy your tickets now. Don't forget to pick Capital Care Foundation as your foundation of choice. Lottery license number 698984.
There's 10 games on the NHL slate with Connor McDavid and the Oilers taking on the Nashville Predators, with McDavid 1 point away from becoming the 4th fastest player in NHL history to reach 1,000 points. And you can join Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas as they tee up the game during the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, which goes live at 6 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Also hitting the ice, it's the Jets and Lightning before the Blues meet the Sabres. The Kraken matchup with the Blackhawks, and the Canadiens meet the Wild. Down south, it's the Eagles kicking off against the Commanders, where you can join Lieutenant Eric for all the action down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. That one goes at 6:15. And from Utah, it's the Jazz on the court with the Mavericks for the lone game in the NBA. EST Afternoons continues with Hernan Salas and Joaquin Gage. I'm Zachary Kubusch, bringing you the latest.
Hour 2 here on EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk. Static free since 23. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, and Zachticum. You want to hit us up, text us 780-218-9999 or on the nasty chat. Now there's a talk about brisket on there. You can also hit us up on Twitter if you like, at Hernan the Man, at Joaquin Gage 31, or at Zachary HMK. HMK. Yeah.
Okay.
Zachary at HMK or Yag Sports Talk as well. We usually don't give out our Twitters, but everybody, I mean, we follow everybody, right? So
Are you staying on the X, the Twitter?
yeah, I've been seeing some new thing come out. I have no idea what
the
it's.
old Blue Sky I've
Why?
been looking at. It's not as like a garbage dump as
It
X
will.
has become.
It'll turn into that.
It's so nice. It's refreshing.
Really?
I actually was just going, like, I signed up for that Threads, the other one there.
Yeah.
And, man, it was, I don't know.
I never went on Threads. Do people still use that?
Yeah.
It's pretty big, yeah.
It's big.
Really?
You use Threads?
I don't like using Thread. I don't know. I go on there sometimes. I don't like the things I really see on there either. I mean, it's kind of just the same as Twitter, but Instagram's version of Twitter. I might as well just go into the cesspool that is X.
I'm on my phone enough. I don't need another app.
Ever since I saw Elon jumping on stage with a 2-inch vertical, I was like, really?
Oh,
am I
boy.
using this guy's app?
We're coming to you live from the William Huff Studios here in the West End. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. I stumbled there because I had my mouse arrow right where I needed to read. So not very good. Let's get to the Edmonton Oilers, of course, looking for their first 3-game win streak of the season, which is a little bizarre to say on November 14th. But Gager's not panicking because he knows they're going to turn it around. McDavid 1 point away from 1,000. Does he get it tonight? I mean, if you're a betting man, it's probably a pretty good bet, Gager.
Against this team, yeah.
Definitely. They will go 11-7, as Victor Arvidsson is a no-go for tonight. But according to Chris Knobloch, he is expected to play on the weekend. The Edmonton Oilers' record is 8-7-1. Nashville sits at 5-9-2. Oilers power play sitting at 17.5%. It's gone up a bit. Needs to be a lot better. They're still dead last on the PK at 61%. And then Nashville's power play 22.2, better than the Oilers. And their PK is really good, Gager. 90.9. They've been shorthanded 55 times. They've only given up 5 power play goals.
Yeah, they're first in the league in the power and PK. Hey, and back in the day when how you judged your specialty teams by adding them both up, you wanted them around 105, right?
Yeah.
But now it's, I would say, about 110, and they're still over that 100 mark. But
much better than the Oilers.
It's funny because it's a team that you would think with their record that there would be possibly. I mean, their power play isn't great. But if that gets cooking,
look out.
Look out, because with a PK over 90%, that's half the battle right there.
Yeah, this is the third and final game of the season as the Oilers beat them twice in Nashville earlier on, outscoring them 9-3, Gager. So it bodes well. I'm intrigued to see if Saros gets a start because he struggled against Edmonton. We know it's going to be Calvin Pickard for your Edmonton Oilers, who's I'm pretty sure he played the 2 games against Nashville and picked up the wins. Some good news, I guess. Well, I don't know if it's news. You can take it however you want, but looks like Stuart Skinner stayed out late working on his game, so that's a good thing, Gabriel.
I thought you were going to say he just stayed out late one night and couldn't play. I was actually really like, all right, Stu. Sometimes you need to get in one to get back on track, but not that I think he was back on track. But yeah, okay. You know what? I was talking about this on 2 guys that I was kind of actually surprised that he didn't get the start tonight, and that they were distributing the goaltending minutes quite evenly, I would say, to what I thought they would do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think there's subtle things in Skinner's game that he needs to work on and iron out, and goaltending is a lot like golf in a way where. It's just trying not to get into bad habits a lot of the time. And when things are going good and it's rolling, everything seems to be going your way. It's great. But then one little thing can go off. It's just like your swing. And you're like, ugh, you got to get everything back on track. And what I really admire about Stuart Skinner is his foundational base of goaltending. So he always has that to fall back on, which is great. I had no base. Yeah. And it was all about that base. There's
a good breakdown on Twitter yesterday. Some gentleman broke down the first goal, the off the rush goal. How Skinner got stuck with the kind of not the fake shot, but he thought the rushing.
Well, I heard people like he should have. That was a timing issue.
Yeah.
Right. But again, it's hard on the guy with his off wing because his ability to shoot from the middle of the ice freezes the goalie a little bit more. But if you watch I said this yesterday, you watch his right leg, and what he does is he starts initiating his backward momentum way too late, and he just couldn't get across in time.
This is the lineup we're expecting for the Preds. This is not official, but this is what they rolled out last game. Philip Forsberg with Ryan O'Reilly and Steven Stamkos. That's a power line. Marchessault with Sissons and Nyquist. Evangelista with Juuso Parsinen and Philip Tomasino. And then your fourth line, Cole Smith, who dropped the mitts with Emberson, Michael McCarron, and Zachary Leroux. And then defensively, it's Josie with Brady Shea. Jeremy Lauzon with Alexander Carrier, and Mark Del Gaizo with Luke Shen. I've never heard of that guy, Gager. No? And expecting Juicy Saros to start, if by a miracle he's not. It'll be Scott Wedgwood in the pipes for the Edmonton Oilers. But I look at it this way, Gager, where the Edmonton Oilers have played 2 good games. I wouldn't say great. But they're scoring. They found the way last game. They blew a late goal lead. But, you got to start building something. And this is a game. I'm not going to say it's a trap game, but you have to win this game because you want to go into Toronto, then Montreal, then Ottawa feeling good, right? Especially into Toronto where you haven't had a lot of success. But, it's a team that's competed for a Stanley Cup shouldn't still be looking for their first 3-game win streak of the season, and they're not playing a juggernaut tonight. This is a team that the Oilers have kind of owned lately, and they can't let their foot off the gas in this one. No,
and like we mentioned before, this is another opportunity to assert your dominance on home ice.
Yeah,
they have to get that record up, get that that feeling of invincibility at home. I think is really important for these guys, and just let when a team's coming in. And although this is Nashville's last, you look at their home record. When you were going to play a team in their building, you're kind of, okay, how are these guys doing at home if you haven't played them at home? Oh, geez, they're really good at home.
Yeah.
And so you put that seed of doubt. Right now, Nashville's, they haven't played great at home. These stats aren't good. There's definitely opportunity for us. So just a little bit of flexing with the stats before the game to teams coming into your own building. Although, you take all the things that guys say, one game at a time. It doesn't matter what happened before, but you do have a glance at it before each game.
Do you like 11-7? I don't.
Well, it didn't really affect me either. I was playing or not. So
no, but even like watching it or obviously you're going to see more Connor and Leon, 100%. But I think for the defenseman, having that extra guy rotate in, it just throws you off.
Well, who knows? One of those guys might be the the grocery stick, right?
Yeah.
So they might get to that point. I mean, Woodcroft had it going a lot.
He loved it, man.
But he had to use it.
Yeah, that's true.
He had, so they couldn't have two guys in the press box watching, and putting different guys in different whatever the situation dictated. I mean, D hate it. Forwards like it a little bit because they play a little bit more, obviously, and I think there is something to defensemen playing with the same guy over and over in the same game, not just like game to game. It can change. I get that, but I mean, the Oilers have been lucky enough to have D pairings that have been the same for a long period of time up to this season, right? So we'll see, but I think it suits this game a little bit better because of the way that McDavid and Draisaitl have played against the Nashville Predators in the past, that they're going to see a lot more ice time, and hopefully they get this 1,000-point thing done early.
I suspect that we're going to see a lot of Kulak and Nurse together.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Keep those. Yeah.
Yeah. And
who do you see fits in? Do you see those three guys just flipping around?
I think Kulak's gonna kind of moonlight with Nurse for shifts here and there, depending on the game situation, and then he'll shift back to the third pair, and he'll have Emberson, Dermott,
go with
Stetcher.
Nurse again.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I think he's gonna kind of because that's what they've done so far with the sixth defenseman. They'll put him on with Nurse for a few shifts, and then they'll switch him back to Emberson. So it's going to be interesting. Connor McDavid, does he get a goal or an assist, and when does he hit 1,000? In the first, second, or third period?
First period. It's probably, history dictates it's probably going to be an assist, I would say. I would love it to be a goal.
Yeah.
But no, I think he's going to defer. He'll have an open net and try to give it to Leon probably.
And we talked about this yesterday for a bit, but once he does, the whole team comes on the ice.
See, if it's an assist, I don't know. If he scores,
it's different.
I think it's a little
different. If he scores, he should skate and jump into the bench. No, you're not a fan of that?
Well, whatever, man. If it's 0-0 and he scores the OT winner, I'd be all right with that. But
yeah, it's gonna be great. If not, don't worry about it because you'll do it in Toronto and stick it in their faces.
Well, if it's Saros tonight, you, as the goalie, you really don't want.
You don't want to be the guy.
Well, yeah, because you're going to have to watch that for the next, 3 months on every highlight film of Connor McDavid's 1,000th point.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's an assist and it's not. You're still going to see it. So.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. Callum Pickard gets a start in net. The coach sent in a text. He says, Nashville PKL's already played the Oilers in 2 games, so that could help their average. Well, touche, my friend, touche.
Right.
Let's see here. Troy Aikman, coming from a Cowboys fan, that's from Rusty Shackelford. I think he's saying who he would like to start.
Troy Aikman.
Norm has let us know that he's cooking a brisket right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Just what? He doesn't bring it in.
Then Lars says, "We're in our great city has a good barbecue for ribs and brisket place. I'll hang up and listen out. Go to Meat, just off White. Oh, it's fantastic there. Have you ever been there? No,
It's okay.
I've been there a lot.
It was I was looking forward. I think I got the smoked brisket sandwich. I was very underwhelmed. Let's just say that.
I've had the ribs and the sandwich. I love French fries, and like I'm a big French fry snob. I think they have really good French fries.
Yeah.
I think a place like there's something.
It's hard not to screw up a French fry though.
No, but some have like the different kinds, like maybe the thin fries or I don't like those. Like I like a home style. Does that make sense?
You like a
thicker,
Texas fry,
like the thicker and
like Red Robin.
Yeah,
the wedges.
Oh, those are amazing.
Yeah,
all you can eat fries. Remember?
Yeah, bottomless. I like the. A lot of places now do the duck fat with what is it called? Shoot, how do I forget this? But they're done in duck fat, and then the sea salt with little parm cheese on top. Like,
okay,
those are good.
I don't like too much of my fries. I barely put ketchup on them.
Well, you don't have to do anything to these ones.
Are you a French fry ketchup guy?
I go with the red sauce, which is basically just ketchup and mayo mixed together.
Oh, okay.
And then I put in I pickle my own pickles right now.
Okay.
So I'll chop those up and throw them in there, and maybe a little splash of hot sauce.
That's why I love my air fryer, man, for the fries.
Well, air fryers are great for fries that maybe you didn't finish, right? And then you have them later, and you just throw them in there just to crisp them up a little bit, right? You're just hold on. I gotta get the name of these fries because
truffle parm.
Truffle
fries?
parm. There it is.
Big Maple texted that in.
Thank you, Big Maple.
Meat, you say? Yes, it's called Meat.
Yeah, it's Meat, just off of White Ave there.
Yeah. It's 59 thumbs up. We've only had 9 since I made a request to get 48 for Nick Anderson on top of the 50 we already had. So he can win the Rookie of the Year tonight.
Yeah, don't do that. We don't need this guy. He needs some thumbs up and to come back.
Come on, people. Yes, we need him to come back to the green and gold. Please, please, please. Hey, tomorrow we have a big guest. Well.
Yeah, we do.
Should we share or just...
No, everyone's got to tune in. Everyone loves this guy.
Yeah. Well, how about we get 48 more thumbs up for Nick Anderson and we'll share who we have tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Let's do that.
He's a beauty. You'll love him.
He's fantastic, actually. I've been looking up stats for this fight tomorrow.
Like stats or like
or
lines?
no, to betting.
Okay.
Like,
what do you got?
So
give it to me.
Let's see. Hold on. So will method of victory: Paul by KO, TKO, or disqualification plus 140. Mike Tyson by KO, TKO, or disqualification plus 250. So that I think that includes ear biting. Decision or technical decision by Paul plus 275. Draw or technical draw plus 9,000. There's a whole bunch in here, but I think Paul's slightly favored here.
Is he the favorite?
Yeah. Will fight go the distance? Plus 150 yes, minus 200 no. Round betting. This is where you like to see. Do you think it ends in a certain round for a certain fighter? What would you say?
Oh, I'm gonna go Mike. Iron Mike.
Iron Mike.
How many rounds is it? 8?
8. 2-minute rounds though. So
I'm gonna go in the 6th.
If you were to bet Mike Tyson 6th round, that's plus 4,000. So
holy crap. Zach, what do you got?
Tyson getting knocked out in the 5th round.
What's that? What's that?
It's 12 plus 1,200.
12-1.
Okay, what about you?
I'm going to go, I like to live dangerously. Mike Tyson, knockout, 8th round, plus 8,000.
I wonder what the insiders have because this is rigged.
Fight went in the first 60 seconds, plus 2,000.
There's no way this is being done in 60
No,
seconds.
if anything, I would take like the draw and then will the fight go the distance? Yes.
Zach, where is the fight?
Arlington, Texas, at the AT&T Center, home of the Dallas Cowboys, I believe.
Sold out?
No, nobody wants to actually go to the fight. I was seeing online there was a lot of tickets a week out, but I don't know how the tickets are looking like right now, but I don't think there's a lot of bite to go see a 58-year-old Mike Tyson live.
But it's the fight of the decade.
Yeah, how can you say that then?
Online it is. Come on. Who else is talking? Like,
how can you say that?
It's been the biggest thing. Even when it didn't happen, people were still talking about it. And then it came back up, and then now it's supposed to be happening tomorrow, even though Maddie thinks there's still a chance that it might not happen.
This one from the coach. Check this out. Hernan, Red Robin's menu is still around and is still great. Varsity at White Mad Cross.
Have you never been there yet?
No.
So the old Red Robin location, just off the White Mud there, it's called the Varsity. It's the burger joint. I haven't been there myself. I've heard nothing but good things, but the fries are actually the exact same.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tip there. McStappen says, hands down, best brisket is at Smoke and Spuds in the Atchison Industrial Park.
Smoke and Spuds, you say?
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting.
You know who had a really good brisket sandwich? Probably the best one I've had. There used to be a guy on Calgary Trail where I think now they have the new complex where the Chipotle is.
Yeah.
He had an offset barbecue, and he just cooked stuff. He was always done by noon or something. COVID hit and shut him right down, but it was the best smoked brisket sandwich. And it was a sad day when I went by, and he just wasn't there anymore. Oh, it's great.
We'll wrap up this segment with this one from Redbeard, our good buddy. This Tyson-Paul fight is massive. It is bringing all the non-fight fans to watch compared to any UFC or any fight in recent memory. My wife was talking about watching it, and she hates fighting.
There we go. That's what I'm saying, right? People who don't even care about fights are going to be tuning in. You guys aren't even huge fight nerds or whatever you want to call it.
I like UFC.
It. You do like it.
Yeah.
You tune in. If you could, you would be watching like most of the big ones.
I'm not
right?
a huge fan of UFC.
See, and you're even like, I might watch this Tyson.
I watch boxing. I watch lots of boxing, but
didn't you see his picture yesterday when he was young for the sexiest Edmonton athlete? He had boxing
that guy
gloves
definitely.
on.
That's what it was. We were trying to figure out what you had in your hands.
It was a workout machine. I was holding the workout machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those aren't you can see my fingers.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, you weren't looking at my fingers.
Oh boy. Mike, the Michigan fan, says, "Let me guess. Zach also thinks Jake Paul isn't juiced up."
No, I definitely know that he's juiced up. Like, how do you gain like 50 pounds that quick?
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no way.
His pee is like fluorescent. You can see it in the dark.
Maddie's chimed in again on the nasty chat, which makes it a major spectacle. Doesn't make it the biggest fight of the year.
The most popular fight of the decade and of the year. It is the biggest fight probably of the year still.
All right. We'll continue the Tyson,
Let's see
Paul,
the viewership.
Oilers, Preds, CFL, NFL talk here on EST Afternoons. 63 thumbs up. We're almost there, guys. Let's get to 100. We got about 40 minutes to go. The Reed Wilkins show is coming up at 3 with Jay Mail. They got an awesome show for you as well. A former green and gold legend will be joining them. I'll let them send that out there, but it's going to be a fun show. But first, how about we get to, should we do the keyword here next? Zach, you're in charge right now.
I'm in charge?
Yeah.
Let's do it right now.
All right. Get your phones out.
All right.
780-218-9999. It is time for the keyword for the EST Flyaway to LA, which is presented by the 780. The 780 is a homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780 is both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 area code to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com or at any of their 5 locations at Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, or the Outlet Mall by the airport. Gager, today's keyword, do you want to guess?
Sure.
Okay.
Boxing.
No.
Oh.
Completely wrong. This afternoon's keyword on EST Afternoons for the EST Flatway to LA is spark. 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 Send that in to 780-218-9999, and one of you will be selected as our next qualifier for the EST Flyway to LA. That's all coming up next here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, and here's Zach with a sports update.
Connor McDavid can become the 4th fastest player in NHL history to record 1,000 points as he enters tonight's game against the Predators, just 1 point away from the milestone. And Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas get you set for the action for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6 o'clock right here on EST. Other games around the National Hockey League have the Senators and Flyers going at it. The Jets taking on the Lightning, and the Bruins facing the Dallas Stars. Thursday Night Football sees the Eagles kick off with the Commanders, where you can join Lieutenant Eric at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for 6:15 kickoff. And it's the Mavericks out in Utah tipping off with the Jazz for the lone game in the association. And just after the break, we ring up a qualifier for the EST Flyaway to LA. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you in the loop.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for 2, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Book your holiday party at the CBH today. The Canadian Brewhouse is your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now in-store or at the Canadian...
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
It's 2:26 EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas. Hit us up on the TuneIn or iHeartRadio apps. Watch us on YouTube. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Text us 780-218-9999. The Cube is working on our next qualifier for the EST Flyaway to LA. That song, Gager. Whew. You know what I'm looking forward to tomorrow's fight? Well, we're not going to call it a fight anymore. We're going to call it a spectacle.
Just stop it. Just stop it.
Maddie asked us to please call it a spectacle because that's what it is.
Yeah.
The intros, when they walk out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think, Mike, like one of the most terrifying things about Tyson when he came out was I don't think there was music. And he just had, like, he ripped a hole in a towel. And he came out, he looked like he was just in a fight. Like,
because a lot of these guys come out with like celebrities, so I'm intrigued to see who walks out with Iron Mike and who walks out with a problem child.
I hope it's just black shorts, black trunks, black shoes.
Oh, like the old days.
The towel, and just come straight out, leaking sweat. and just ready to roll.
Did you ever play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out?
Of course.
Oh, so good, eh?
Yeah.
So good. That's one of the best old school games ever.
I remember I would take the bus as a kid out to UBC to the arcade and go play Punch-Out.
Oh,
take $5, throw it in the thing, get the quarters and play. Mr. Macho Man.
Were you ever a big Street Fighter guy on the arcade machine?
No, Mortal Kombat I was.
I sucked at those games, and I had buddies that knew all the trick moves.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would just sit there and watch them.
Because there was no internet at that time, right?
no.
So you couldn't go in and see the ABB down up left, right. I had to buy a book. I think I bought a book and memorized.
Because it was just the way you move the joystick, right?
Yeah. Well, it was, in Mortal Kombat, it was the finishing moves, right?
Yeah.
So you were, you'd rip a guy's heart out or whatever.
Because Mortal Kombat was kind of like the Street Fighter came first with Kent and Ryu.
Yeah.
Was it Ryu?
Yeah.
And they were the two best ones, right?
I think so.
And then Mortal Kombat came out. I can't remember the guys' names, but they have wicked names.
Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Kano, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage. God, those were great. Who? Shang Li was it? No,
I remember
a movie.
I was a kid and we had an arcade machine. It was a video store. It was called Beverly Hills Video in Mill Woods, and it was literally right by where we lived. And they had an arcade in the back, like just off to the side. And I remember I got $10, and I was so happy. Me and my cousin spent the whole $10 finishing Double Dragon on the arcade.
Oh,
machine.
no way!
Yeah.
Oh, Double Dragon. Yeah. I remember that one. Yeah, some of those games. I think Reed was talking about it a few days ago. Dragon's Lair. It was like you had to pick the proper ways to go. Like you had to react quickly. It was one of those games where you just had to learn it before. But yeah, that one, Gauntlet. I don't know if you remember Gauntlet. It was like one of the first 4-man games where it was kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons. There was like a wizard and an elf and stuff.
No, I don't remember that.
That was fun.
Another good one was Contra. Remember Contra?
Contra, yeah. 1942, the plane game.
That's a good one. There was a really good wrestling game that was only on arcade. It must have went to video game after, but it was so much fun, man. Like realistic as hell.
I think I know the one you're talking about, and you could just headbutt the guy and keep knocking him down.
Yeah.
As long as you did that, you could play that game forever.
And Macho Man was awesome in that game.
Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah, I could play that thing all day long because there was one guy that did it back to you, and but I would just it was both buttons and then one, I think is what it was, to do a headbutt, and I'd keep knocking him down, then throw him against the ropes, and then slam him. But you couldn't let him up, or else he would take care of you pretty quick.
All right, what's going on, Zach?
Well, I was giving you some weird signals over there.
You look
can't come on the phone.
You look like a third base coach.
No, don't sign. No, don't go. Yeah, Derek is our qualifier for the EST Flyway, but he cannot come on the phone because he had a meeting.
Okay.
In literally a minute after.
Did you ask him who he would take to LA?
I actually didn't. No. He had to go to a meeting. He's like, actually, I got to go really quick.
All right. Derek, the next qualifier for the EST Flyway to LA. Congratulations. And of course, the Flyway is presented by the 780. Check them out online at 780.com or at any of their 5 locations: Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. VR just sent one of the best games of my childhood. Did you ever play Bubble Bubble?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Is that like Dig Dug?
Well, no, you had it's just you had to, it was all bubbles, right? And then you had 2 little guys if you're playing 2-player, and you just had to pop the bottles and create the word down the line.
Oh, really?
And then every time you pass a level, you drop down. Oh my God, me and my sister would play that like crazy. So when we had the machine at the old place, they had Bubble Bubble, man.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, I loved playing it.
We then once the consoles came out, that was a game changer though. That way you could have all those things at home. I remember that Greg DeVries and I, our first year pro in Cape Breton, we both had PlayStations.
Yeah.
And we would, when Doom came out, and it was like Minecraft with guns, kind of. And to play co-op mode, we had to have 2 TVs.
Yeah.
So we would put them back to back and play Doom together. It was hilarious.
There's something about arcade games, though, man. Like I wish
big-
those would come back, man. Like
I
have
loved arcades, man.
Oh man, there's nothing like it, man.
See, and I hate, you know what bugs me? You know what really, when I go to like the rec room and it costs a fortune to play these games. Like you want those things, the best thing about playing junior in Portland was they had nickel arcades where every game was a nickel. And I don't see why you just, like it costs like $4 to play a game that you're dead in 2 seconds.
My favorite game of all time on an arcade machine, though, is Galaga.
You like Galaga?
Oh, I love it. It was in our machine at 12-16. Like when no one was there to play Tecmo, I'd play Galaga, man.
Yeah.
I'd rack up the high score. Galaga is one of the best arcade games of all time.
What's everyone's favorite arcade game of all time? Let us know.
I mean, Pac-Man's popular.
Well, of course. I remember the Big Scoop in Kits. Big Scoop was a ice cream parlor right beside Kits Beach that I'd ride my bike to, and they had Asteroids and Pac-Man. And I remember sitting there as a little kid waiting to play Pac-Man, and I had my quarter in my hand, and some jerk was sitting there, and he had taped a quarter to some string, and he was hitting the, like he just went and he had like 800 credits on the machine and just played all day.
We went to there's a place downtown that has video games. Oh my god, I can't remember that.
Is
Greta?
Greta. Went there one day.
Oh yeah, Greta does.
And they have Pac-Man on a big screen.
Oh, do they?
Oh, it's so cool. And Galaga.
Man, I think, have you seen those Samsung, like I think they call it the wall, like they have these new TV screens.
Yeah,
It's huge, and guys are sitting there like playing Call of Duty on it. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, the arcade. It's such a simpler time, man. I loved it. Like your mom would give you like $5. Like, go to the arcade. Leave me alone for an hour.
Yeah,
right.
And you couldn't wait.
And $5 would last you forever.
Yeah, I know.
Because everything was a quarter. And do you like pinball machines?
I'll play, but I'm not a huge fan. I'd love to go to an arcade with all those old games, but I don't want to be chucking $2 into a game. It's funny. Like everything's a loony and stuff. Like,
well, I like, because you said Rec Room. I haven't been there in years, but like they give you a card with credits.
I
which
know,
is
but
better.
still, they do it that way because you don't really know how much you're spending, and then you're done after. Like, go there you spend like $100 in those places, though.
So I'm looking at a rankings of arcade games. Bubble Bubble's ranked 31. That's way too low. Way too low.
What's the top one?
The top one is Donkey Kong.
Oh, the old yeah.
Donkey Kong. Number 2 is Pac-Man. I'll give you the top 5. Number 3 is Space Invaders. Of course, everybody played that.
Loved Space Invaders.
Number 4 is Galaga, and number 5 is Miss Pac-Man.
Okay, you got it.
I mean, those are the classics, right? Like, I remember Kubert. Remember Kubert?
Oh, geez, Duck Dad Gager Arcadium in Sherwood Park. Just pay to enter the arcade. All games are free. So
where?
This is the Arcadium in Sherwood Park. Just pay to enter the arcade. All games are free. So I've never heard of the Arcadium.
Well, there's a few if you go to the theater.
Those are terrible games. So.
Actually, there's some pretty good ones. One time, me and the GF, we got there really early.
Yeah.
So we got some food, and then we're like, "You want to play arcade?" And we were playing shooting hoops, playing arcade. Yeah. Let's see here.
NBA Jam. Mega Man, I remember that one.
Spency 5 Cents, he says X-Men and the House of the Dead were his favorites. Jasmine says Time Crisis.
It's the two guys. Yeah.
NBA Jam, yeah. Crazy Taxi. Paperboy.
Oh, the Paperboy, yeah.
Okay, I have a question because Stitch _Lover 13 says Paperboy and Blades of Steel, but wasn't Blades of Steel first on Nintendo?
I don't think so.
Or was it an arcade game?
I think it was an
first?
arcade game first.
I never played it on the arcade.
I think it was. I for some reason I think I remember the marquee, the banner of it. It said Blades of Steel.
Because that was the first like realistic hockey game. Like,
it wasn't. But it was like, I mean, all you did was want to fight in that thing.
Yeah. Because I only played it on Nintendo, so I'm intrigued if it was an arcade game.
I got to get to the Arcadium. Paperboy, but yeah, Battletoads is mostly retro games plus tons of whatever.
Frogger, remember Frogger?
Hey, who can forget George Costanza trying to get his high score.
That's
across the
right.
street.
Yeah. That's a great epi, man. Yeah, Double Dragons top 20. Mario Brothers. Yeah, it's good on the arcade too. Obviously, it's bigger on the Nintendo, obviously. But remember Rampage?
Rampage.
Yeah.
Beating up the buildings. That was a good one.
I mean, NBA Jam on the arcade is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm trying to I think my favorite game was actually Punch-Out. I'm trying to think of other ones that I really, really enjoyed. And then they had Super Punch-Out, which was different because the first Punch-Out, if I remember correctly, the first fighter was terrible. Glass Joe, and then Piston Hurricane, Pizza Piazza. Gosh, it was the other guy. I think it was a French dude, but then it was like Mr. Macho Man. I think was the final guy.
Punch-Out was ranked 25 on this list. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a great arcade game as well. They had a game called Pole Position, fast-paced track fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing that now. Now that my love of F1, I would love to do those ones.
Oh, man. VR says Bubble 1, quarter level 95. I was so jacked on Jolt Cola.
Jolts.
Oh, boy.
Man.
That's great, man. Yeah, it'd be fun to hit up the arcade one day, man.
It would be great.
Like, seriously.
I had, remember going to the arcade with your buddies and go, come on, let's go play. Like, you were just in such a good mood to go play a video game.
Because Chuck E. Cheese now is like, they don't have arcade games. They have games, but they don't have arcade games. Because when I was growing up going there, as a kid, it was all arcade, man.
I remember there was a Chuck E. Cheese. It wasn't in Vancouver. It was in Burnaby. And I remember going there. It was 2 levels, man. Like, there was 2 levels of video games. It was just a parent, and you could, if I think back, all the parents were just sitting at the big picnic tables at the bottom and just had their hands as just screaming kids up and down, asking them for more money. I think I asked probably other parents for money, and they just gave me money just to get rid of me.
Yeah. Zach, you're too young for arcade machines, eh?
Yeah, I didn't really have them growing up much. Like, it was never really a thing. I kind of just sat at home playing games.
What was your first video game system ever?
The original Xbox and the PS2 as well. I dueled it because I had an older brother. Oh, yeah.
wow.
I have an older brother who's 10 years older than myself, so he had all the games for Christmas, and I'd kind of sneak in there.
10 years older?
Play them. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so, I mean, I got nieces and stuff, but
wow.
Yeah, I feel
Your
old.
parents go to a wild Halloween party? And when's your birthday? We can figure this out.
2 days before Halloween. So,
oh, no. So it didn't work out.
I think
what's 9 months before that? What kind of party is that? Oh, that's just staying home too much, probably.
Christmas.
No, because I say that because my buddy, we used to, my brother-in-law has this pierogi party, and back in the day, it got nuts. So we made our own pierogies. It was a whole day thing. So we'd be rolling them, and then cook them, and we wouldn't eat till 11. But everyone's pretty, lit up after that.
Yeah.
And they could trace it back to he got a vasectomy the next day because, he had a third child.
Oh, you kids, Zach, don't know what it is to be in an arcade. Waiting for the game you want to play, and the stupid kid in front of you is really good and won't let it go.
How about when you're playing a game and some guy comes and clicks the quarter on the side of the machine? It's like, I got next. Or whatever.
Got next, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, Zach.
You missed
out, brother. My first system was a Sega Genesis.
Oh, jeez. I was original, man. I had an Atari. I had them all. I had Atari. I had another one. If anyone can remember, I forget what it was called, but their main game was called Doink or something. It was like a caveman that hit everyone with his head. Oh, shoot. I got to find out what that was.
Sega Genesis, and the best hockey game till this day, NHL 94. Nothing will ever beat it.
Say, when that came out, I was playing... it was my first year junior, and it was in Portland, and I hooked it up onto their second TV at my billet's place. Yeah. I couldn't believe that it was an actual hockey game.
With real players.
Oh. It was the best.
So good, man. If someone has an old Sega with NHL 94, I will pay top dollar.
I think on the new one, you can go back and play it, though. Like on the new NHL, whatever it is.
But I'd still like just imagine having an old Sega with the controllers and the game. Oh, boy. That'd be great. We got to get to a break here. This is where we're heading into the last segment. We'll continue the video game talk, Oilers talk, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, and, of course, this day in sports history in the last segment as we get you ready for the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne coming up at 3. And that's your next chance to qualify for the EST Flyaway to LA, which is presented by the 780. Zach, it was Derek who won?
Derek,
yeah. Who couldn't join us on the phone because he had to jump into a meeting, but he was our qualifier. Your next chance coming up from 3 to 6 on the Reed Wilkins Show. Portions of this hour brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. NHL lives at the Canadian Brew House with Thursday Night Football and your chance to win a trip to an NFL home opener of your choice. $1 off tankards of Bud Light and Budweiser. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. We wrap up EST Afternoons next here with Joaquin Gage and Hernan Salas. But first up, here's Zach with a sports update.
The Oilers host the Nashville Predators with McDavid just 1 point away from becoming the 4th fastest player in NHL history to reach 1,000 points. Tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas just an hour before puck drop, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Elsewhere, it's the Devils and Panthers, Canucks battling the Islanders, and the Canadiens meeting with the Wild. Ian Rappaport and Adam Scheffner has reported that Harrison Butker will hit the injury reserve as he's expected to undergo surgery to trim his meniscus in his left knee. The Chief Butker will be back in time for playoffs. And Thursday night football action has the Commanders kicking off with the Eagles at 6:15 with Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for the action. The lone NBA game has Utah hosting the Dallas Mavericks with the Raptors back at it tomorrow against the Pistons. Just after the break, it's the final segment for this Thursday rendition of EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubusch, keeping you informed.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
780 is just another lame-ass, low-budget local shop. Homegrown right here in Edmonton. 780 is both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 1,000 local vendors from the 780 to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com or at any of their 5 locations at Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
It's 2:46, final segment here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin Gage, Hernan Salas, Zachticum. We went down. How did we end up talking video games?
No idea.
Mike Tyson.
Oh, it was
Punch-Out.
Yeah, Punch-Out.
Mike Tyson Punch-Out. Brent P says on the inbox, they have old machines from every decade, really old ones from the 50s, etc., ones you grew up with, and new ones too. That's at, where does he say this is? In retro gaming machine, Millennium Place in Sherwood Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just so people, the console I was talking about was the TurboGrafx 16, and it was Bonk's Adventure that I was talking about that I played. Also, a great baseball game on that one.
Nice. Ken says Centipede and Frogger were his favorites. Dudley, the Simpsons arcade game was fun. Andrea says, Zach, did you just say you feel old?
I always feel old.
Mike from Calgary. Gager, Valentine's Day is about 9 months before.
There it is.
May, actually. I think it would have been May or something.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah,
Corey B says TurboGrafx 16. Bone says Intellivision or
Intellivision
or
ColecoVision.
Coleco.
Yeah,
those are old, right?
It went Atari, Intellivision, ColecoVision. Those were the big three.
ColecoVision. It was the best, Gager, says Nate the Builder.
Oh, there was also ColecoVision. I think the game was called Pitfall. Great game. Great game.
This one says, The Wolf. Agreed, Hernan. I have the emulator and NHL 94 on my tablet, and I use 2 Xbox controllers to play. Wow. Wow, that is amazing. Do you guys think Knobloch will give Skinner more consecutive starts so he can continue to find his game?
Coach Mike, we were talking about this, and I was surprised about how Pickard's getting I don't know if it's a ton of starts, but
just more runs.
Just more. And I did think that he would probably start Stuart Skinner these next 3 until they get into the back-to-back and then start Pickard. Just like you said, to get Skinner a little bit more comfortable in his game. But saying that, you had mentioned that the Skinner, and it looked like he was out there working after practice for extra time. And I did kind of find it on Twitter there to see. So maybe it was a little bit, there could have, I mean, things are different now, but I think there's a lot more discussions between the goalie coach and the head coach and where they're at, how they're feeling. And maybe this was a scheduled start, but it seems to me that there was some designated practice time for Stuart Skinner to just work on subtleties of his game, which I don't mind too. Cass made a great point on 2 guys today, saying that, you know, Stuart Skinner's sweet spot to hit the playoffs and be fresh, but still have his game at a good level, probably that 50 to 55, and that's 1 in 3 starts for Pickard.
Yeah, so it's Pickard tonight. So and he's been pretty good this season. So we're at 71 thumbs up. Let's get to at least 90, guys. Come on, we're not asking much. There's over 100 watching. We've had a good conversation about Tyson and Jake Paul. We've had video game conversations. Been a fun show.
Parm fries, we got that done.
Parm fries.
We got truffle parm fries. That's what they are.
Okay, so ColecoVision was before Atari?
No, the Atari was the Godfather.
I'm looking at it now and it looks bizarre.
Yeah, it's got a little circle. The controller looks like a phone.
Yeah.
When you look at it, yeah.
And then what was the other one?
Intellivision.
Okay, I'm gonna look that one up.
They just
holy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but then the Atari. That was. I mean, you can buy those retro. It was just a joystick and a button too, just one button and a joystick.
I remember playing Pele, and it was just a ball going back and forth, and you just had to move the.
Well, yeah, that was that was the original game, Pong.
Yeah. Man, we've come a long way.
Oh my gosh! Now there's like headsets and stuff.
Like the sports games look like the real thing, Gager. Like
the playbooks are like 800 pages long in Madden. Like I remember the first Madden, thought that was great. Now it's just stupid.
Brent P says it's not at Millennium Place all the time, just one weekend. Okay, cool. Pong, then Atari basically says Bones.
I have the list of all the gaming systems if you want. I don't know. People want to hear this stuff? Jesus. Atari came out, the 2600 came out in 1977.
Oh.
Intellivision competed with Atari, 1980. ColecoVision came out in 1982. And then the original Nintendo Entertainment System that revolutionized home gaming, the NES, 1983.
I wonder if anyone has these machines and you can drop it off here at the EST headquarters. I would love to plug that sucker in and see if we can play some games. I am so intrigued, even if it's an Atari, but Coleco intrigues me. Does anyone out there have these machines just laying around and would like to maybe lend it or let us, borrow it or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, no. And And then it just, So the 90s where a lot of them came out. The one with the hockey was the Sega 32X because 32-bit. Went from 16 to 32.
Because I always remember there was a riff if you were a kid, you either a Nintendo guy or a Sega guy.
Oh, yeah.
And Mario obviously was the most popular game at the time, right?
Yeah.
Like if you were a non-sports guy or didn't care about NHL 94, but like...
Well, Zelda,
Zelda.
That was huge.
Enormous.
Yeah.
Because what was Sega's like go-to game? Outside of NHL 94?
Sonic the Hedgehog, I think.
Sonic was a good one, yeah.
But then Sony PlayStation came out in 1994. And that was like, the CDs went in there and it had that classic opening with the sound and stuff, Sony Entertainment.
This is VR says you would need an 80s TV.
No, you just need a converter.
Yeah, just get the converter, right? Because what would it be?
It would be like a AV hookup to coax. You can buy those at places, or maybe you'd have to, or Amazon would have it for sure.
We have an expert here, but that would be awesome because we have an old Nintendo here, but I don't know if it works.
It works.
I really want to play that.
It's shoddy, apparently. You got to turn it on in like a certain way. You got to, like click the button 3 times.
Up, down, left, right, A, B.
Exactly, yeah. But it starts 50-50. It's pretty shaky.
Duck Dad says, thank goodness we almost went back to Oilers. I mean, we do so much Oilers. It's okay to venture away from it from time to time. I mean,
look, we're gonna do a deep dissecting dive tomorrow
on it,
and the NFL game, and afterwards. Probably Bonk's Adventure from the TurboGrafx 16.
Did you say Zelda?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What was the other one? Link? No?
No, that is Zelda.
Oh, no, but there's another game that kind of rivaled Zelda.
There's a game.
The Legend of Zelda. No?
Yeah. It's escaping me right now. No. Because there's that blue guy as well, right?
Yeah.
But that didn't... No. Samus as well. There's some of the, like, you're in space. There's another game that was similar.
There was another Crash Bandicoot. He was another guy. Right. I don't know what.
Crash Bandicoot, good one.
Yeah.
That's a really, really good one. Castlevania? Oh, it could be Final Fantasy, Mega Man. Mega Man was a good game.
Mega Man, yeah. Final Fantasy, yeah.
I've only been in 2 of the Nielsen Show drafts, and one of them was I did the video game one. I finished second. You? Yeah, I finished second. I got I was the swing, like the 4, and I got Mario Kart.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, and then another Mario game, which was my top 2. Yeah, but now with so many systems and PCs and all that, it was so hard because I'm not a gamer anymore. So I literally called up buddies that are like big time gamers, and they would give me a list.
That's funny.
We're getting a lot of texts in on this. Oh, yeah. So Construction Curtis brought up Crash Bandicoot. Good one. Nobody remembers the Commodore 64 from Barry.
I had an Amiga. It was a little step up.
Coach Mike says, insanely expensive mid-90s consoles. Panasonic 3DO, $700 US in 1993. Yeah, I can imagine.
That's real.
Baggio and Dudley text in Mega Man. That's the game, I think. Because that was Sega.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Sega.
I'm pretty sure that was Sega, yeah.
What's the new consoles now? Is it PS5 now?
PS5, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to come out. They just came out with, I think, the PS5 Pro or something like that. I don't know. Just the upgrade of it. Like the Xbox One came out. They had their Xbox Series Y, X, Z. I don't know. And then... they have so many different variations of the same thing. But
we'll end on this one from Spency 5 cents. Excite Bike. I remember that one. That one was good. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's 2:56. We got to duck out. Of course, keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coming up next for the full 3 hours, it's Reed Wilkins with Jay Milne. They'll have a really fun show, and they have a great guest coming on the show. You'll be very excited. A legend in the green and gold.
And then you're back.
And then I'm back. It's the Oil Stream pregame show. Tom Gazzola, myself, and Matt Cassian. And then we'll have all your reaction following the game from Rogers Place. Oilers, Preds, Will McDavid get to 1,000? Probably. And I think we're all picking the first period on an assist. So keep it locked here on Edmonton Sports Talk. For David Harrison, breaking down the Commanders, Joaquin Gage, Zachticum, I'm Hernan Salas. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the conversation on the Nats chat and on the inbox. Fun show coming tomorrow. And with that, we'll talk tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao.
See ya.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website, edmontonsportstalk.com.